Good morning. Good morning to replay viewers and web viewers and live viewers. I realized that my schedule change means I need to do my oil scope on Sundays instead of Mondays. Hey everybody. Good morning. So I'm going to come back after this and talk about ULA, Grow, and Highest Potential. That's what's in the diffuser today. And that's what the people taking Desire Map Level 2 will be getting. So, I'm going to come back and do that separate, though. Because not everybody. Yeah. Hi, friends. Friends and folks. I can't guarantee that you're not going to pop off and fall down. Okay, have fun with that. Highest Potential is an awesome oil. And ULA, Grow, and Highest Potential. I'm glad you did, Sarah. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, even for a second. They're two of the oils that I used a lot in the beginning to grow emotionally and stuff. So, I'll come back and talk about ULA, Grow today. There's 26 or 24, it's like a ridiculous amount of oils in that blend. So, as soon as we're done here, I'll sign back on and we'll do that. And we'll make the oil scope Sunday instead of Monday, because I can't do two with the twins. I can barely do one. Awesome. Okay, my name is Michelle Wolf. Right here at CaddyshackDesigns.com. I'm going to come back right after this and talk about the oil that the Desire Map Level 2 people are getting as part of their ticket price. And then just in general. It's a great oil. And here's the website, CaddyshackDesigns.com. Yay! And everything I do is designed to, right here, help you increase your happiness threshold. Because it's one thing to say, focus on the positive and feel good. And then you discover that focusing on the positive and feeling good makes you uncomfortable. And there's things that you can do about that. So, Course in Miracles Day. Yep. That's the little trick they don't tell you. Like, focus on the positive and raise your vibration and feel happy. And then you get so uncomfortable with that being unfamiliar that you sabotage it. So that's what we're trying to do here is decrease self-sabotaging tendencies and increase the amount of comfort you have with holding a higher level of joy and happiness. And my book's all sweaty because it was in the car. It's really gross. Yeah. You've been working. Yeah, because you've been working. You've been taking responsibility for yourself. That's all it is taking responsibility for yourself and looking at the stories you tell yourself. It's not hard. It just takes some practice. So, son of a biscuit eater. Son of a biscuit eater. That's a fun one. We used to say that one a lot. We thought we were so funny. Lesson 24 is, I do not perceive my own best interest. Okay, here's that thing about there's my business, your business, and God's business. I don't even know what's right for me half the time. If that's all that's going on, that's the least of your concerns. Lesson 23 was I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. So that's what we're talking about. Getting pretty specific about the thoughts we're using. So I can't take care of myself half the time. So I certainly don't need to be telling you what your business is. And I certainly don't need to be arrogant enough to think that I know what the universe's business is. So my business, your business, and God's business, or Source's business, whatever you want to call it. We can't see the big picture because we're in human bodies and we just don't know. And we don't like that. So we like to pretend that we can see the big picture, even though that's just pretending, like a child pretending that you can't see them if their eyes are covered, but they're standing right in front of you. So it's a nice chuckle to have, to think that you have control. So your time is better spent getting comfortable with the idea that you don't have any control. You get comfortable with that and things don't bother you so much. So, today, I do not perceive my own best interest. We can't possibly know. We can't possibly know. That's why it doesn't do any good to fight against reality, because what's happening might be your best interest. It might not look that way, but it might be protecting you from something worse, or it might be leading you to something incredibly better. Okay? So even things that on the surface don't look like something you would choose to have happen, you can use that as material for growth if you keep an open mind to it. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Because we don't know. If we knew, we would get there. But we can't. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the result. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation, and that perception is wrong. It is inevitable, then, that you will not serve your own best interest. Left on your own, through your own devices, you can't serve your best interest because you get lost in illusion. Your best interests are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived, otherwise you will not recognize what they are. So if you realize that you don't perceive your own best interest, you could be taught what they are. But in the presence of your conviction that you do know what they are, you cannot learn. So we decide that I know what's best for me, and you can't tell me anything different. So my mind is closed to hearing that I might not know what's best for me. The idea for today, yes. Yeah. Trust in the implicit eventual goodness of all that is. The idea for today is a step toward opening your mind so that learning can begin. That's exactly it. The more I know, the more I don't know. The more I know, the more I know that I don't know. I don't know anything. So the emphasis should be on uncovering the outcome you want when you think about unresolved situations. Thanks for the shares and the hearts and stuff. So the exercise for today requires much more honesty, self-honesty, than you're used to using. A few subjects honestly and carefully considered in each of 5 practice periods today will be more helpful than a cursory examination of a large number. So 2 minutes today on 5 subjects throughout the day, telling yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests. And you say, this is what you say. In this situation involving whatever, ooh, cool, I would like blank to happen and blank to happen. So here, let me let you screenshot that. So in this situation, blank, I would like this and that to happen. That is amazing. It's not surprising, but still amazing. Our level of synchronicity is pretty high because we're all pretty much in tune. We're fine-tuning, but we're already pretty much in tune. Come on, Juna. Come on. Come on, kitty. Come on. Come on. He won't. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so in the situation involving my work, I would like this to happen and that to happen, and so on. And try to uncover as many different kinds of outcomes as may honestly occur to you, even if some of them do not appear to be directly related to the situation. So don't judge what comes out of your mouth. When you're filling in the blank, don't judge it. Just fill in the blank. First thing that comes to your mind, just fill it in. If these exercises are done properly, you will quickly recognize that you're making a large number of demands of the situation, person, place, or thing, which have nothing to do with it. You will also recognize that many of your goals are contradictory, that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out. After covering the list of as many hoped-for goals as possible, For each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation. And then if you want to, you can follow that up with, how can I see this differently? How can I open myself to the miracle of seeing this differently so that I can make a different choice? Maybe a more informed choice, or a more in alignment choice. Yeah. So, we expect, what's happening is we're expecting a lot out of our jobs or our relationships or even our, houses, places that we live. I definitely will. So your job is not going to be your source of happiness and your source of lifetime income. Neither is your relationship. Neither is the place where you live. This light's bugging me. There, that's better. Okay. In the situation involving whatever first comes to mind, I would like blank to happen and blank to happen. So just let your first impulse fill in the blank. So what happens a lot is, in the situation involving my job, I would like money to happen and happiness to happen. I'd like to have a good income and fun at work or whatever, and just list all the different goals that you have, all the different things that you're trying to make that situation give to you. And as you make those lists, you'll see that the things that you're making the list about can't possibly fill all those needs. It can't possibly. And expecting them to leads to disappointment and frustration, because you're trying to teach a dog to meow. Yeah, list what you're trying to get. You could restate it that way. So list what it is that you are trying to get out of your job, or out of a teacher, or out of a spouse, or a boyfriend, or girlfriend, whatever. Just write down everything that you think they should be giving you. Security, attention, whatever. Because 90% of those things can't be, well, if you think about it, none of them can be fulfilled by an external situation. None. So this exercise helps you start to see that. And then if you want to take it one step further, okay, so if these exercises are done properly, you will quickly recognize you're making a large, competing desires will keep you stuck. And this will help you see if you've got cross-wired goals or cross-wired demands of any particular situation. So, done properly, you will quickly recognize that you're making a large number of demands of the situation which have nothing to do with it. Your job has nothing to do with your happiness. Nothing. Your job has nothing to do with your security. Your job has nothing to do with feeling fulfilled. You'll also recognize many of your goals are contradictory, and that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out, because we have too many expectations placed on them. So you're guaranteed disappointment when you're approaching life that way. After covering the list of as many hoped-for goals as possible, for each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interest in this situation, and move on. Or you can say, how can I see this situation differently? So when they're saying hope for goals out of a situation, they're just talking about expectations. So make a list of all the things that you expect your job to give you, all the things that you expect your present relationship, your present relationship or your intended future relationship to give to you. And you start the process of recognizing that that's not where those things come from. Every goal that you're after has at the bottom of it that you want to feel good. You want to feel good. You want to feel better than you do now. You want to feel happy and fulfilled. All your goals have that at the root of them. So, but a job can't give that to you. A boss can't give that to you. Your best friend can't give it to you, and neither can your spouse or your partner or whatever. Looking for a relationship in the hopes that it's going to give you those things is a lost cause. It can't. Your significant other cannot fulfill those things. Neither can your job. And getting a lot of money also cannot fulfill those things. It just means while you're spinning your wheels looking for things in the wrong places, you probably live in a better house and maybe drive a better car. That's all that means. Oh, Juna. Okay, so let's look at this book. The Law of Divine Compensation is our secondary book, which is Course in Miracles, Principles with Marianne Williamson. And if you're just joining, quick commercial break, 30 seconds. Not even. I'm Michelle Wolf. I keep forgetting to say this stuff. And here's my website. And you can find me there. And you can find information about everything that I do. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm just friending everybody. Anybody that shows up, I don't even know. Most of my page is public now. I'm probably friending like all kinds of random weirdos. But then also some really cool Periscope weirdos in a different way. Because we're all weird. Chapter 10, Positivity. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're almost more than halfway done with this book. Thank you, Michelle. CaddyshackDesigns.com. Across the top are tabs for everything. Now, when the main page has generally cat-related stuff on it. Like right now is a product review for, I don't know, cat litter or something. I gather. And pretty soon there'll be a product review for a bowl for dogs and cat food by Avenger's Cat Food. Look at the tabs on the top for the kind of stuff that's non-cat related. Okay, positivity. Most people realize the negative effects of, or the deleterious effects of negativity in the workplace. Whining, complaining, anger, and general naysaying create obvious barriers to accomplishment. And that's in your life too. Whether it's an individual complaining that the system won't let me succeed, that's a very victim-y statement, right? Because of you, I can't succeed. Because of society, because of my boss, because of whatever, I can't be successful. That's a victim statement. Because that's ridiculous. Or someone piping up to insist that a creative idea, it can't be done, so let's not even talk about it. Negative attitudes stop miracles in their tracks. While the power of negativity is clear to most everyone, the power of vigorous positivity receives short shrift in comparison. So we give a lot of energy to talk about how bad negativity is, but we don't spend an equal or more amount encouraging and developing positivity. We just really are still complaining about the problem. Positivity is more than the absence of the negative. It is the presence through thought, word, and action of the positive. In other words, simply not being negative is not enough. So just shutting your mouth is a step in the right direction sometimes, but it's not enough. You still have to cultivate the practice of actively, daily, sometimes hourly, minute by minute, seeking whatever you can find that's positive. Yeah, vigorous positivity means it takes some action on your part. It takes some effort on your part. The long run is a decreasing amount of effort that you have to expend, but you have to expend some effort every day. If we're interested in creating miracles, in evoking the most powerful creative manifestation, we must proactively, right, dang it. Yeah, affirmations, intentions, chanting, praying, reading books, coming here. There's lots of places on Periscope where you can hang out for positive. But you have to be putting your focus actively there, even when you don't want to, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you wake up in the morning and feel like this is all bullshit. You keep walking and you find these other states of being. You will. So, Okay, so let's talk about, there are 3 types of positive attitude that she talks about in this book. Positivity about other people, about possibility, and about ourselves. So let's begin by looking at positivity about other people. We'll just cover that one today. After all, few of us achieve anything by ourselves, right? We have a lot of people around us. An array of employers, employees, colleagues, yada, yada, yada. A matrix of relationships are at the heart of any worldly success. So this is your job and your relationships are a great way to practice your spiritual principles because they're right there in front of you. You generally interact with them every day, and all your irritation and conflict is excellent material for you to work with. My mom was reminding me the other day that we used to be in Soka Gakkai Buddhism, which it's a lot of chanting. It's the Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Tina Turner's in it. There's some famous people in it, but I still chant sometimes, but it's not my primary source. But it's Japanese, and the little Japanese ladies used to, every time you complained about something, they would always be like, yay, good benefit, good, go chant for, and then they would say, just chant for your happiness. And then we all wanted to complicate that and say, well, shouldn't I be chanting for a job? Shouldn't I be chanting for a relationship or something specific? And they would say, no, just chant for happiness. Because they understood already that we don't know what's best for us. So chanting for a job might not be in your best interest. Why would you do that? If you chant for your happiness, if you focus on just your happiness, then whatever it takes to get you there may not be a job. It may not be a relationship. And they knew that overcoming that adversity through chanting and spiritual focus would strengthen you for the rest of your life. So they were like, yay, something shitty's happening to you. Now you get to go practice and grow strong. And on the surface, you're like, what is wrong with you little Japanese ladies? Now I get it. I didn't get it then. Yeah, they got it. Like, they understood that getting through the tough times was exactly what we needed for our growth. So they were like, yahoo, you're in the shitter. Yes. Right. It's not generally what you want to hear. So think of your work life not as separate from your spiritual life, but as central to your spiritual life. Whatever your business, it is your ministry. Think about that. Whatever your business, it is your ministry. Whatever relationships you're in, that is your ministry. Oh, kitty. Come on, kitty. Overcoming releases a boost of energy. Yes, absolutely. So every relationship either gives energy to us or withholds energy from us. Cat butt. According to what we give or withhold from it. Come on, buddy. What are you doing, buddy? Yay, poopy poo. Right. Right. That's perfect. Okay, did you hear that? Every relationship either gives energy to us or withholds energy from us according to what we give to or withhold from it. And it's not only our behavior toward others, but our thoughts about them that builds and or destroys relationships. Since all minds are joined, everyone subconsciously knows everything. Feeling it? Yes, definitely. Since all minds are joined, everyone subconsciously knows everything. That's the collective unconscious that Carl Jung talks so much about, which I totally believe in. Thinking positively about those we work with or live with or would like to work with has a miraculous power. When we think of someone we love, we are making soul contact, thus invoking the expression of that person's highest self. That, in turn, increases the possibility that he or she will meet us on the level of our own highest self, bringing greater chances of high-level synergy and creativity between us. I've used this practice, although I didn't know it was part of Course in Miracles, but I've used it many, many, many times. Many, many times. I've used it for myself and had it work. that practice of writing to the other person, writing them a letter, but you're not actually sending it, but you're writing to their soul. You're writing to them on that place where you know that we're all connected, is really powerful. So when you say what you need to say, and you forgive what you need to forgive, or you go express whatever needs expression on paper, on a soul level, it will almost immediately play itself out on the physical realm. Almost, I mean, it's fascinating how fast it can be. Sometimes it takes some work. But conflict with bosses, I've done that lots. So I generally got to the place where they either started leaving me alone, or when they did try to mess with me, it didn't bug me. It didn't bother me anymore. Or they quit, or I quit. I find myself in another job. That works with relationships too. When you need to talk to somebody, it also works with people who have already died. If there's things that you need to say, you can still say them. You can still write them down on paper. You can still experience what feels like an answer. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But it's really powerful and it's really effective. Catherine Ponder calls that writing to the angel of the situation or the person. Let me see if I have that book. Let me see if I have it. I think. Yeah, right here. Okay. This book right here. The Prospering Power of Love by Catherine Ponder. It's old. It's an older book. Catherine Ponder is I believe she's still alive. She's the New Thought in the New Thought Unity Church. Hi, David. I thought that was David, and I wasn't sure. Thank you. Happy Sunday to you. So you can Google Catherine Ponder, and you can find a lot of her material. The Prospering Power of Love, Prospering Power of Prayer. This one I like the best, so I kept it. But let me see if there's a thing about writing to the angel. Writing to the angel of a situation. Okay, angel writing. You could say writing to the soul. You could say just writing to yourself. Do you know our area was the only one that really got any snow? Special methods of love. Writing to the angel of. Writing to the angel of wealth. Writing to the angel of prosperity. Writing to the angel of healing. The Hebrews of old felt that Raphael was the angel of healing. At times you may wish to decree or write out, angel of healing, come forth here and now, and say what you want to say. You can write to a specific angel to meet a specific need. All kinds of stuff. One of the basic teachings of truth is that we're all connected. One of the secrets of love is to learn how to clear disharmonious ideas from our own mind, for this in turn clears disharmonious experiences and relationships from our life. If you deal in the right way with your own thinking, the people around you will move into right conditions, either in your presence or by moving out of your life. The mystical prayer method can add years to your life as it relieves you of unnecessary worry and friction. It may even turn enemies into friends. Okay, so I'll let you screenshot it. I'll take a picture of this and put it in the... I don't know if... Will this focus enough? Maybe. And whether you say you're writing to the angel of, or the soul of, or whatever, it does work. And you don't have to write it either. You can just think it. Okay. Thinking lovingly about someone is a far more sophisticated measure than simply visualizing a positive outcome of a business relationship. So instead of visualizing the outcome you want, you generate love for yourself and the other person and for the situation, and you get out of the way of the appropriate outcome. If you're focusing on a specific outcome for something, since we don't know what our best interests are, you can actually be getting in your own way. Does that make sense? So we just read how we don't know what's in our best interest, really. That's where core desired feeling work, going for the essence of the idea, focusing on images and emotions that feel good. Yes. Just go for the core and let the outer circumstances deal with themselves. Yes. Not concluding. Stay in the question. How can I see this differently? I wonder what's going to happen next. If you can stay in an attitude of love and curiosity, like, what's going to happen next? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get fired. I don't know. Let's see. It's way, way different than thinking, I need this specific outcome. I need to talk to my boss and I'm going to visualize he's going to say yes to a raise. And instead you think, I'm going to talk to my boss and I'm going to try and feel as much love as possible for him or her and our company and me and our situation. Then the highest outcome doesn't have to jump any hurdles to get to you. You open the way for it to come easily. Easily would be nice. Easily is nice. You've been getting out of the way more, and I think your family is like, what? Oh, yeah. You can really throw off your family by letting go, which is kind of fun, just to see what happens. How can it get better than this? How can it get any better than this? Is a great question, too, from Access Consciousness. Staying in the question, living in the question, because as soon as you decide you have to have it a certain way, you've shut down all potential for something better. And if it's not something that's for your highest good, you can just tangle yourself all up. Thinking positively about someone spiritually means blessing that person, praying for his or her happiness, and praying that we be an instrument of greater good in that person's life. You don't have to. They probably may not know what you're talking about. They'll feel it, and you can just have a chuckle. But you can tell them if you want. Your kids may be interested in how you're doing that, especially as they're moving into their own relationships. If they have a relationship with a difficult teacher, you can use that as material to talk about these concepts and how to change it. So the question to ask yourself is, what would your motivation be in telling them? What would you be hoping to achieve by telling them? But would it be a teaching thing, or you want to open a conversation, or what is your motivation there? Hi, Nina. Here's where hate trips us up more than hate just doesn't feel good in our body. Good for you. I actually slept till like 7:30. I was super happy about that. You probably needed it. So think of it this way. When you think lovingly about someone and you spiritually bless them and pray for their happiness, it's the best thing you can do. Hate trips us up because happy people don't act like Donald Trump. Okay? Happy, connected people don't spew hate and fearmonger. They don't. So, praying for his happiness, praying for his spiritual awakening, first of all, impacts you because you're feeling pretty good. Hi, Juliana. You're feeling great. You're feeling connected and loving. And then it offers him that. Sending hate to someone destroys you, first and foremost. And then doesn't offer them the chance to change. It just adds more. If we're all connected, if our minds are joined, the more you hate him, the more hate he has to spew on to others. You're feeding the fire. If you hate people, you feed the fire and you add to their hateful energy, and they can spread more around because you're feeding the fire. And it's counterintuitive. Yeah. Yes, it's counterintuitive. We think we should hate the hateful, but we should love the hateful so that the hateful has a chance to heal. Hating the hateful just keeps us all tied together in a really ugly, tangled web. And that means genuinely loving. Like not, okay, I'm going to sit here. Yes, blessing your partners, sending love to them, and letting go of what that may mean, letting go of what your relationship may look like, and letting go of making decisions until it's clearly time to make a decision, is incredibly freeing to all of you, your whole family. Thank you for all those hearts, by the way. They're so pretty. They look really pretty on this dark sweater. Yes, it disconnects us all from each other, which weakens us. And then we become victims. Our powerful place is to connect with each other, but we have to do that through genuine love. So you can't sit down and say, I'm going to force myself to love Donald Trump today. That may not be possible. But you can not force yourself. You can practice loving yourself, loving your pets. If you can't love yourself, maybe you can love your cat or your children or other people. And then you can slowly experiment with practicing loving people that you don't like and don't agree with and make you angry. It's loving kindness practice. You can Google like a zillion ways to do it. Metta, METTA practice is loving yourself, then loving your loved ones. Yes, me too. Very conditional love, me too. And then loving the people that you really struggle to love. It's all illusion anyway, right? If we're all connected. But we have to work within the parameters that we have for now. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's loving kindness meditations everywhere. Jeffrey Rutstein has one. You could probably Google that. He does a lot of work on that here on Periscope. I think it's just Jeffrey Rutstein, Rutstein. Lots of loving kindness teachers out there. Sharon Salzberg is a good one. Sylvia Borstein is a good one. There's tons. There's tons. Just if you don't connect to a teacher right away, just scoot around on Google. You'll find somebody that you can connect to. In my experience, and this is just my personal experience, but in my personal experience, there's no power greater than getting into a loving space with those that you're in conflict with and situations. Oh, Roseanne. Love is the answer. It really is. It sounds like a bumper sticker or a cat poster philosophy statement, but it really is the answer to every conflict. No matter what situation brings people together on the spiritual plane, every relationship is an assignment. We're brought together by an intentional universe for one reason only, the enlightenment of all concerned. Whether our connection is through work or family, a casual encounter, or a lifelong involvement, the purpose of every relationship is healing of the world. Yes, love and understanding. Yes. The ego would separate our thoughts of work from our thoughts of the sacred, saying that work is material and God is spiritual, and therefore the two do not meet, the twain do not meet. Sometimes their language. So if you go to church on Sundays, or you have a spiritual practice in the morning, you turn that switch on. And then when you walk through the doors of your workplace and you turn that switch off, it's really disruptive to your system and everything that you're trying to accomplish. Take your meditation off the cushion and into the world. Take your experience at church on Sunday, if you're a church person, and you have to take that to work with you on Monday. You can't just, your system is so confused by that. You get in this loving, wonderful space on Sunday morning at church. Then you go to work on Monday and you just bitch and complain about everything. What is that? That's not an effective use, of your power, which is immense. It's not an effective use of what all that has given you to be a channel for. We can be physical channels for all the love in the universe if we choose to be. And just by feeling loving while you're doing your meditation and then going down to the bus stop and wanting to punch people in the face, that's a very incongruous way to live. And it's very, very confusing to your systems. Be a channel for love at all times. That means work gets your love. That means your family gets your love. That means the cop writing you a traffic ticket gets your love. That means the slow cashier who makes you want to jump across the counter and, do something bad gets your love. All of it. It's practicing what you preach, right? It's living and walking your talk. She needs to speed up what she needs to do, Roseanne. No. She needs that love. Or the lady using 15 coupons in front of you. Michelle, that's perfect. How unfair to others that we've been so selfish with our love. What a beautiful way to say that. I could have said that better myself. Learning how you can be around the ones that trigger me. Writing them those letters. Write letters to them and say, I really want to love you, but you trigger the heck out of me. That's a beautiful way to say it. It is sad that we've been so selfish with our love that has the power to heal the world. We've withheld it. We've hoarded it. We've been greedy with it. Me too, Juliana. I struggle with impatience, especially with when I feel like my wanting to get on with my day is more important than how I treat someone. That's not good. Right. And yet we were ignorant once too. Writing that letter helps. Writing letters of forgiveness to yourself helps. Yeah. I struggle with people that I perceive as ignorant. I still struggle with that. I still struggle with people who are slow. If I'm in a hurry, I'm still ignorant a lot too. No, you don't send the letter. The letter is a way for your physical self to experience writing to someone's soul and feeling consciously connected to someone's soul. Juliana, I really struggle with slow cashiers. Oh my God. They are my ministry. A slow cashier at the grocery store can, if I let it, really throw me off. Oh, self-checkout is my friend. And when self-checkout is closed or I have too much, I just groan. It's like, oh God, it saves lives. When we know, oh yeah, don't send the letter. Yes, oh my God, don't send the letter. The letter is just for you. Tear it up. You can burn it. Juliana, yes, every single time. I really avoid Walmart as much as I possibly can. First of all, because they're like the most unethical company on earth. Second of all, because their cashiers are quite challenging. So unless I'm in the mood to challenge myself for some spiritual growth, I try to avoid Walmart for my sake and theirs. I don't want to hurt people with my impatience, and I know that I do. I know I'm guilty of that. I sigh, I roll my eyes, I'm like, ugh. I make that noise, psh, the psh noise. Oh, speed it up, lady. My day's important. Come on. So arrogant. Isn't that the most arrogant stance to take? But I do it. I'm guilty of it. Jeff gets mad. Oh my God. Heath, we both struggle with that. Just carry headphones around with you. Very good option. Listen to happy music. You slap him. Road rage 2. I don't have that anymore. Oh my God, Vegas driving is the worst. Do you live in Vegas? Vegas driving is the worst. I used to live in Kingman, Arizona, and the only place I could get decent food was in Las Vegas. It's ridiculous. It can until you have peace with it. It's so crowded, Roseanne. It's so crowded. Traffic doesn't bother me anymore at all. Cashiers still bother me. Traffic doesn't bother me. Even Vegas traffic doesn't bother me anymore. Once I had to drive over there. Oh, I liked Henderson. I actually looked at living in Henderson too. Yeah, it's full of tourists and nobody knows where they're going and it's too crowded. It's all of that. So that's your ministry. If you can get to where traffic doesn't bother you anymore, you will have achieved some major stuff. Susan, what you were saying about having to write those letters, as you write those letters, you find peace and you don't need the letters anymore. You can look at it as a spiritual testing ground every time you have to go drive down near the city. Vegas is a very challenging place to drive and be in general. Look at it as a test. Like today, I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to go into traffic. And first of all, I'm going to get in my loving space. And then I'm going to practice taking that with me into traffic. I'm going to practice taking that with me to Walmart, knowing that because I haven't fixed this situation, I'll get the slowest cashier. Yeah, Juliana, you're in a great place for practice. You've gotten to where you're the bother in traffic now. Now, David's gotten to where he's the teacher in traffic now. He's teaching everyone else. I just know they're on their own path, literally, and bless them. That's how I started years ago. Traffic is a great place to practice. Yes, it is. So if you know that you have a chronic struggle situation, a chronic thing that pisses you off, you can look at that differently. You can say, this is my ministry. This is where I get to practice what I preach. This is where I get to put into action everything that I study every day. I get to put it into practice now. Look at me go. I'm going to go find me a slow cashier and practice not hating her. And not getting irritated by her. And I say her because it's mostly hers. But if there's a slow guy cashier, I will end up in his. Yeah. Yes, meditating in the subway. When I first learned, I've said that before, when I first learned to meditate, I got taught that you go meditate everywhere. On purpose. Yeah, you got to be I have to be in a good mind space to purposefully challenge myself to go to Walmart and get the slow cashier so I can practice not bursting into flame. Yes. Yes, Susan, there's an eventual end. It's not just conflict to peace revolving door. No, because what happens is you let go. Yes, absolutely. What happens, Susan, is you let go of your expectations of people and situations. And as you let go of them, they are free to act differently. Until you let go of them, you guys are locked into a pattern. Huge bubble of love and blessings around the car, and everyone on the road is blessed. Yep, that's a great way to do it too. My visual image is, as I'm traveling, I project out light that dissolves any knots up ahead of me. So I just visualize like these lines of light coming out of me, and that if they encounter any knots up ahead, they straighten it out. Yes, the lighthouse. The lighthouse is a really good image to have. The lighthouse doesn't go crawling into the ocean to rescue people. It just broadcasts light. They can be as crazy as they want, and it won't bother you anymore. Or they will stop being crazy. Or they won't come into your life anymore. You guys have experienced this, right? Some of you have. You do your work, you find total love and peace with someone, they disappear. Or you disappear. Or their behavior changes, or their behavior doesn't change and you don't care. Yeah, finding parking spaces in crowded lots. Getting entryways onto busy highways. I try to do that too. If I'm going onto a busy highway, I try to, make some space for me so that I can shoot right out and not get jammed up on the entrance ramp to the highway. Yeah. Okay, so it's 2 women left to take better jobs. Yeah, my mom was working with some vicious black magic women. One of them literally was practicing black magic. I know, it's so fun. It lets you know how much power you have. And take that power, the knowledge of that power, and apply it everywhere. Okay? 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 No matter what the situation, we're brought together for this work. I don't believe that we're brought together by some external force. I think that just happens to be where we resonate. And then when we are done resonating in that energy and switch to something different, our circumstances change. I don't think it's like, Michelle Wolf needs a lesson with slow cashier, so make sure that she ends up in line number 9 at the Walmart. I don't think it's that kind of intentional. I know a lot of people do, but I personally don't. I know. I love that. When you get on the highway, there's like a huge crowd ahead, a huge crowd behind, and you pop into the empty space. It's beautiful. It's a much more beautiful way to live. Ease. Divine ease is my core desired feeling this year. And I'm already being triggered as to why I don't allow ease in my life. Vegas would be a very challenging place to practice the parking lot game. What do you do there? Juliana, do you work outside the home? I saw that you're sharing about your doTERRA oils. That's really cool. Oils are awesome. Whatever brand you're using that you love, oils are great. Divine ease. But see, in January, I set divine ease as my core desired feeling. So now what's happening? All the triggers coming that keep me from not allowing that is coming into my awareness. So I'm back to using, I'm back to using Ula Grow and Highest Potential for myself because I've hit another point of things coming into my awareness. Bless your heart, Juliana. Bless your heart. Such a tough place to live. But here's what I know about you, the little bit that I do know about you, is that you're a powerful worker and you're in a place where you can strengthen some mad skills in Vegas with what you know. You can change your whole experience of Vegas from what you have when you first got there to what you have now to what you'll have in the future because you're so focused. Your experience absolutely is going to change. So, and you're welcome. Pretty quickly. Yeah, pretty quickly. Okay, so let me just say that again. Our thoughts of work and our thoughts of spirituality should not be separate. Your work and your spirituality and your traffic and your spirituality, all those things should be together. Compartmentalizing them is not effective. Since the world itself is merely a projection of our thoughts, there is no ultimate separation between our spirit and our actions. Separating our thoughts of work from our thoughts of spiritual devotion. We're on this book. In this book, we were on lesson 24, Susan. You're welcome. We're in chapter 10. Separating thoughts of work from our thoughts of spiritual devotion is disempowering. It's a victim stance. It's a victim-y way to live. It's a disempowered way to live. It's a energy-sucking, life-draining way to live. And we forget who we are. We get so scared we forget our power. We hand our power over to other people, and we lay down and get walked on. It throws us out of spirit and into fear. And when we're in fear, we are useless, really. We can't help ourselves when we're in fear. We can't help anybody else. We can't do anything but suffer. But, through... Hi, Heath. Yes, Michelle, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience to recognize how much power you have. That's okay. That's okay. It takes years to understand sometimes. The good news is, in any moment, in any holy instant, we can remember who we really are. We can remember who lives within us. We can remember and dedicate ourselves to love's purpose. Okay. You're so you. Through remembering who lives within us. Young. Yeah. Don't worry about the time it's taken. Dedicating yourselves to love, you achieve miracles. That's how you do it. Whatever your business, it is your ministry. Whatever your relationship, whatever your activity, whatever your circumstance, that's your ministry for today. That's your spiritual practice. So, go sit in traffic. Go to the Walmart and find the slow cashier. Go to the bank and get the ignorant teller. Get the crappiest professor that you can get. Get the worst boss on earth. And you will learn so much. So much! Right. It's not. It gets easier, Susan, but it's not. And you have to do it every day, all day. Your current state, your physical state, like your geographic state, yeah, me too. I live in Georgia, people. Every 5 seconds there's a Jesus Save sign. And you know that the people who put those up aren't living the life that Jesus told us to live. They're aggressive. They're awful. Every moment, peoples. Every moment. Okay, so the hubster is asking that we go into town. So I'll come back. Yeah, we live in Hillbilly Central, buddy. Hillbilly Central. So I'll, thank you. It's a kitty. I want it. It's this amazing artist. She has an Etsy shop, and of course I'm gonna forget. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna forget her name, but it's cats and dogs on pages from old books. What the heck is her name? See, I think she should have put her name on the back of the jewelry. I love it. I have a couple of her prints, too. If I remember her name, I'll put it on Facebook. I won a necklace and 2 prints. This one. Anything by Catherine Ponder is dated. Me too. It's and she's a Christian preacher, or was, but the New Thought Christianity, so, writing to angels and stuff. And this book I like best because it just boils it down and goes straight to the core. And this book was $8 a while ago. So I'm sure you could find it as a Kindle book. It talks all about, well, here's something I just flipped open to, so maybe this will help. You never lose anything through releasing it. Instead, you open the way for a freer, more satisfying type of love to develop, where everyone involved is able to give and receive in a more harmonious way. You never lose that which is for your highest good under any circumstances. When it seems that you have lost something, it is because it's no longer best for you. Though you may feel that it is still best, you have actually outgrown it, and the pruning power of love has released you from it. The pruning power of love. Realizing this, you are able to free it and open your mind and heart to receive your new and higher good. Sometimes you release a person and they don't physically leave, but they become like a different person. They achieve a new level of growth to the point that sometimes you don't even recognize them anymore. Pruning allows for new growth. You have to prune a tree if it's going to be as healthy as it can be. You have to prune your plants for them to be healthy. Setting others free means setting yourself free. When you feel bound to other people, it's because you are unconsciously binding them to you. then you feel constricted, chafing against the very bondage you've caused. Always you yourself hold the key to freedom from bondage. You turn the key to that freedom when you release the personality, problem, or condition that you think is trapping you. You are the master, never the slave of circumstances. You are the master. You are never the slave to circumstance, ever. I don't know if that coffee shop's open on Sundays. I'll have to look it up. I have to look it up and see.
Well, let's go.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll come back this afternoon to talk about the 2 oils because I have someone impatient to go somewhere. Perfectly ties into our discussion. So I'll be back to talk to you this afternoon about Ula Grow. This is one of 2 oils. I'm going to come back this afternoon and talk about this Young Living Ula Grow version blend for growth. That'll be this afternoon, though. I don't know, Roseanne. Probably after 2. Possibly after 3. Yeah. Yes. I wish we had a coffee shop meet-up place, too. God, that'd be the best, wouldn't it? There's 26 oils in this blend, so I got to do a separate scope for it. And people in Desire Map Level 2 are getting Ula Grow and Highest Potential as part of their package. Desire Map Level 2, number 2, .eventbrite.com. If you're interested, if you've taken Desire Map Level 1 from me, you can take Desire Map Level 2, and it starts February 18th. Okay, I will see you this afternoon. Talk to you later. Have a great Sunday. After Level 1, yeah. Yep. Okay, love you bunches. Talk to you later. Bye.